Hello, this is Dr. Dwight Damon, President of the National Guild of Hypnotists. We're pleased to welcome you to the February Continuing Education Series. Tonight, our presenter is consulting hypnotist, presenter, and member of the NGH since 2004. Please welcome our good friend, Karen Bird.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for being here. I'm so excited. Can you put in the chat while we're waiting for a few other people to join us, where you're from, and if you see clients virtually or in your office or both? I'm curious because I'm going to talk a little bit about that as we move through. And sometimes that helps me to formulate how I work with, or to tell you about how I work with athletes. So go ahead and put in the chat, Palm Springs, California. Oh, cool. And if you work virtually or you have an office or both, I would love to know. California, Washington, virtual, yeah, virtual, Canada. COVID kind of helped with that, didn't it? Georgia, Rio Ranch, New Mexico, both face-to-face and virtual. Love it that you have the opportunity to do that. You know, some clients do prefer that. Great. Ontario, virtual. Tennessee, Pennsylvania, Florida, Canada, Illinois, UK. Wow. Wow, you guys are from everywhere. New York, like all over the states for sure. How cool is that, you guys? Let's see my dog. Virtual, in person. All right, so I'll speak on both because it sounds like most people are virtual, but some do both, and then some in person. So, all right, cool. Keep it coming, you guys. Go ahead. I think it's interesting for everyone to see. All right, so I'm going to get started because I have lots of great content and things for you guys to do. As you are coming in, if you could grab a pen or a journal or a piece of paper, that would be really great. I'm going to have you guys write a few thoughts down as we go, not necessarily notes, but more like journals, things to think about as you tap in. So take a minute if you can and get a pen, piece of paper, pencil, journal, whatever you'd like. It maybe just one sheet is fine. I'll give you a moment to do that. Okay, we're ready to get started. All right. Well, thank you for being here. I appreciate you guys spending your evening with me. And as some of you might know, my niche is working with athletes. I see clients for everything else, anything you could imagine. I have probably seen them in my 20 years of practice, but I do specialize in working with athletes. And I also teach and train and mentor sports or hypnotists and hypnotherapists all around the world how to work with athletes because I developed a program about 6 years ago. And now I teach that program to dozens, probably almost 100. All right. So what I'm going to do as we start here is I want to show you guys a video. And this video is of my son, his freshman year of high school. He was an elite athlete, an amazing wrestler. He ended up being a two-time state champ, a state runner-up, and then his last year in high school, he injured himself and was not able to wrestle the state series. But the reason I'm showing this is a big reason, is because what we're talking about today is the why behind the why. And when we talk about the why behind the why, as you read in the description, we're all in sales. I know we're hypnotists, hypnotherapists. I know we're healers. I know we want to help people. That's why we got into this profession. And we also are in sales. And so when we find what our why is and what our client's why is, why do they want to come to you? Why would they come to you? Then we actually have the reason for what we do it, and it drives us forward. So we're going to talk a little bit about that, but I wanted to show you, it's only like a 2-minute clip, this video of him saying at the end, you guys look at it, I worked for it, I earned it, I deserve it. And that's where I want you guys to be, is I worked for it, I earned it, I deserved it. So let me share my screen here. All right.
Kana at 120 pounds. With Bird winning by 1 point late in the match, Lee did all he could to get the reversal and win the match. As time expired, he was awarded a 1-point escape, sending the match to overtime. That's when Bird had the takedown of his life.
I feel like all my dedication to the sport and just I always I work out all the time and train all the time, and I want to win 4 state titles. So I guess to do that, I would have to win one of my freshman years. So that's just what I did.
Among the light
All right. We'll get out of that. Okay, were you guys able to see that? Yes, okay, perfect, and hear it. So the reason that I showed you that is because, as you noticed at the end, he said, I wanted to win 4 state titles. And when I think about it, that was his big why, right? Is it was so important to him to win those 4 state titles that he was going to do anything. Now, he was wrestling the state champ from 2 years prior. He was a state champ. He was seated before him, and he was down 8 points at one time during that match. So he had a huge why. And I want you guys to think about your why. Is why are you doing this? I'm going to do a little exercise for you in a minute. What I want to tell you though is I have a huge why too. I have a huge why because I want all athletes to have that confidence that he had. He was an amazing wrestler. And I'm going to tell you a little bit about me. I have been a hypnotist hypnotherapist for 20 years. I now teach, train, and work with other hypnotherapists to help them work with athletes and have successful businesses. I have my own practice. It's now all virtual because I see clients from all over the world and mostly athletes from all over the world. And I see them for a 4 session structure. My why is because my son Josh, that you just watched the video, and some of you know this, he died in a motorcycle accident about 3.5 years ago. And the reason that I started working with athletes was because I saw the mental toughness in him. I had become a hypnotist, a hypnotherapist, and I was actually doing hypnobirthing at the time, teaching how to birth babies naturally. And athletes really need mental toughness, and it's really just mental training, right? So I started working with athletes at that time, and I have he was the big why, and he still is the big why because now he's in heaven watching over me. And it's super important for me to get other athletes and help other athletes have the mental toughness and the confidence because we all know that athletes these days have tons of pressure on them. And as they get older, closer to competition, they start to not believe in themselves anymore. They start to not believe they're good enough. That inner mean guy, inner mean girl starts to talk to them. And so it's our job as hypnotists and hypnotherapists to help retrain their brain, right? To help them change the story in that computer to their perfect match, their perfect game, to believing in themselves instead of the criticizing, critiquing mind that we have a tendency to do. And you guys, we do it too, right? Is be good. I'm not good enough. I'm not as good as. I want to be better. What is wrong with me? Why can't I get clients? Whatever it is. All right. So a friend asked me, and I thought, when I was thinking about what can I give you guys that's value here, is a friend had asked me, we were having a genuine conversation. She's also a hypnotherapist in my area, and we get together probably on a weekly basis, whether it's typically on Zoom, but sometimes she lives about an hour and a half from me. We get together together in, physicality. And I was telling her how sometimes I get very frustrated. I feel overwhelmed, all of those things that we feel as business owners, right? And when I say that, it means that, I have a thriving business, a clinical business with athletes, and I see people, entrepreneurs. I see people for, fears, anxieties, kids, weight loss, smoking, the whole deal, right? And so I have that successful business. And then I also have my Attitude of a Champion teaching and training and coaching business. And to be honest with you, my clinical business is so much easier because it's cut and dry and it's organic. It's all referrals. And with my Attitude of a Champion, there's marketing involved and there's a lot of wheels. So I have a team of 4 people. I have a marketer, I have a VA, I have a Facebook manager, a social media manager, I have another social media manager for a podcast. And I have a lot going on. So I was telling her, I'm like, sometimes I just wonder if I should simplify. Oh, And I'm also writing a book. And this book is what my soul is telling me to do. It's a book about my son's death and divorce at the same time, and then my relationship with him now in heaven. So it's definitely my soul's desire. I know it's God calling for my life. And so that's another piece. And so I was telling her, like there's all this, like, what is my soul telling me? Or maybe the universe, God is trying to tell me to like get rid of one of them so I can focus more on another, because I feel like sometimes I'm like all scattered everywhere, which I can imagine some of you feel too. I know that when we're business owners, we're wearing so many hats, right? We're trying to send emails, we're trying to get our clients booked, we're trying to be the accountant, we're getting our taxes done, like all of these pieces. And so I was telling her, I am not sure if I still want to do this piece, or if I should let something go. And the question she asked me, and I'm going to have you guys journal this and really own to your own heart. And so I'm going to help you and walk you through that. But the question she asked me is, why do you want to continue with? So I said, okay, what if I got rid of attitude of a champion? What if I didn't teach how to work with athletes? And she said, well, why do you do it? And I said, "Oh my gosh, for so many reasons." Like, the one emotional reason when I think about it is because it ties me to Josh, who's no longer here. The reason I started doing it is because of his accolades, because of his mental toughness, because of what I learned from him, because I wanted to help others have what he had, because many didn't. So there's that piece, right? I didn't want to let it go. And then there's that piece of like, I put so much time and energy into creating this program that I have, and hours and hundreds of hours on, marketing it and getting it out there and speaking on it. And it's part of his legacy. And so there's that, right? There's so many pieces. And then there's this piece of like, it's residual. It's not time for dollars. I don't have to see much money. It's more of a group program. I can mentor. And lastly, I love to coach. I love to teach. I love people to help build them up. I love to help them see what their blocks are, what's holding them back, why they're not reaching the level, if they have a glass ceiling, what their limiting beliefs are. And I love to do that with entrepreneurs and business people. And so there's so many reasons that I want it, right? So I have a big bad why, and yet it's always like, okay, my gosh, I have so many big bad whys. But I want you guys to tap into, what is your why? Like, what is your why? And what are your clients' whys? Because that's what helps them to decide to go with you, to decide that they need hypnosis or hypnotherapy. So, what I'm going to have you guys do is I'm going to try this one more time, you guys. I'm going to share my slide. Um, Screen share. Okay. If you can't see that, Jeremy, please let me know. All right. So I wanted to show you this one. Josh left me with a legacy of determination, strength, courage, and most of all, an unstoppable, undeniable desire to live life joyful and to its fullest. And so for me, life is about figuring out what motivates me. What is it that I want that will help me to reach my goals? So, if you guys can see that, it says journal on top. I'm hoping you can see the screen. And there's a few questions there. And I'm going to ask you these questions after I do a quick visualization with you. So, if you guys play along with me, please, I'm going to have you guys just go ahead and sit back and relax your body and close your eyes and do what we do best and just tap in. Just relax and let go and bring yourself inside. Get yourself into that relaxed state where you just take those 3 deep breaths and just release as we begin to dream big. Just let go of the tension, feel that wave of relaxation. Let go of everything from earlier today. Just be right here in this moment, letting go of anything that might happen later. And allow yourself to just appreciate as you tap into your breath. So feel your breathing for a moment. Feel the rise and the fall of your chest. And then let yourself relax more with each breath you take. And just notice the stillness in your body. Relaxing those shoulders, feeling a heaviness, letting go, and doubling your relaxation. And just for a moment, feel your chest, relax your chest area, all the muscles in and around your chest. Sometimes we hold some tension, some tightness there. I know athletes do for sure. And so now tap into your heart center, drop into your heart. Feel yourself in your heart. It's safe in there. Feels comfortable and it's warm. This is where your true desires, where your soul lives. So I'm going to have you ask your soul, your heart center, a few questions, and then I'll have you write them in a moment. So why, first of all, did you want to learn hypnosis? Why did you get into this field? Was it because you wanted to help others? Was it because you saw how much I helped you? Why did you want to do this? What did you think you could do with it? Like, who did you want to help? So after you think about that, why you really got into doing this, what is your why? I want you just to imagine that you are floating up above the timeline of your life right now. This is going to be simple, but just allow yourself to curl up or stretch out in that cloud that is above you, above your body, looking down at yourself, the timeline of your life, and move yourself forward, maybe 4 or 5 years from now. And notice who you're with, what you're doing. And notice that you've actually reached the goals you've set. Maybe you have more clients than you want, you're booked out months in advance. Maybe you're able to take those vacations for a month that you wanted, go somewhere with your family, visit someone, go across the world. See yourself reaching your goals and what you want to do with that money that you've created in your business. Just allow yourself to see it, feel it, know it, and experience it. It's all there. And then think about what it is that you want to do. Maybe it's a big paradigm shift. Maybe it's changing foster care. That's mine. Maybe it's creating shelters or helping homeless. Maybe you want to give money to everyone you see on the street because you have hundreds of dollars in your pocket. What is it you want to do? Maybe it's a big paradigm shift. Maybe you want to change an organization. Or maybe it's just something small. Maybe it's your family. Maybe you want to give something to your parents that they've never had, or your children. Maybe you want to be able to spend more time with them because your business is profitable and you only have to work part-time. So what do you want to do with that money you make? And then lastly, why do you deserve to make this money? What have you done? You know, like Josh's video, like he said he deserved it. He worked for it. He trained for it. He had a big why. Why do you deserve it? Maybe just because you do. Maybe because your soul says so. Maybe because you want to really, truly help others. And then I want you to think about now, who will your services help or serve? Who can you help? There is really no price in changing a life. So as you help people, whether you're helping people lose weight, stop smoking for their health, help them move through grief, anxiety, helping an athlete have more confidence, how does it change their life? It truly changed their life. Because what I know is that services that are really powerful and life changing, we don't get paid enough. Think about a priest, a pastor. They don't get paid as much as a pro football player, but yet we have the story in our head that money is evil or we shouldn't charge so much because it's not worth it, right? It's not worth it to, people don't want to pay for it. But really, services and changing lives is worth a lot of money. So now ask yourself, why would a client want to work with you? What are they struggling with, these clients? I mean, are they having panic attacks and they can't go to work anymore? They can't go to school, can't sleep? Are they so stuck in grief that they can't breathe? They can't go out? Are they so overweight that they don't believe in themselves anymore and life is tough? Or maybe they have cancer and they need to stop smoking. So, what is their why? And why do they need you? And what can you help them do? How can you yourself specifically help them? What do you have that they need? All right. And you can slowly open your eyes again. And I would love to see you guys in the chat. Let me see if I can see the chat. You guys are complete. Oh, thanks, Sandra. Okay. Yeah, you guys come back to the room, and I'm going to share my screen one more time to for you guys to journal. Okay. So these are the couple things that I had you think about. And I just want you to write it down because what I've learned is that when we journal, it's amazing the stuff we come up with. Okay. So we have like 20 minutes or so before I'm going to do a Q&A. And there's more that I want to get to. So just for a minute, go ahead and write down why you chose to be in this field. If you have any questions, you guys put them in the chat. Why you chose to be a hypnotist. You guys should have the answers right there because I just did this visualization with you. Hi, Maria. All right, so why you chose to be in this field. It called me. I love it. Yeah, right? It does call us. Like, I believe our soul says this is what we are supposed to do. So I love that. Why do you need to get to or choose to make a significant amount of money? Because you do. And you guys, it's here. Like, honestly, I make with my athletes, it's a 4-session program. And it's a month long. They do 4 sessions. It's $1,000. Like, I get 5 new clients a month, and it's $5,000. Like, you guys deserve to make a significant amount of money. And if you walk away with anything today, it's that I want you to believe that we help people. It's priceless, and they will pay for it. So just you guys like embrace that, okay? So why do you deserve to make a lot of money? Is it because you've had life experiences? It's because you've trained? It's because you work hard? Like, why? What is your why? And then why would others choose to work with you? Why do clients, I am special. I love it, David. Why do clients choose to work with you? What is their why? What is their pain to pleasure? Like, sell yourself because you're good, because you can help them change, because you can get big changes for them. This is what I tell my athletes. Hope results, right? Helplessness to hopefulness. Huge, huge. That's what we do. We change them. So the bigger the why, the better. We go from hopeless to hopeful. That's what we help clients do. And I'm going to tell you, when I talk to an athlete or an athlete's parents, I literally convert 90% of my discovery calls. Yeah, empowering them. I love it. Huda, good to see you. Not see you, but hear from you. Um, so yeah, I love it, you guys. I love it, you guys. Keep up with this. Okay, so here's the thing. I'm gonna go to the next slide. Oh, and the picture's gone. So, oh well, what you offer. So, what I offer my clients or my athletes is when someone says, well, what do you do? I offer athletes confidence, calmness, success, peak performance, pride, joy of the sport again, and chance to win the championship, right? That's what they want. So, what do they want? Why would they buy me? They want to buy me because their big why is they want confidence, calmness, success in their sport, peak performance, or whether it's an orchestra or an entrepreneur, pride, joy of the sport again, and they want to win a championship. Okay, like think about it. What do you offer? What do they want? And it looks like I am not sharing my screen. So you guys got to see it anyway. All right, you got to hear it. Okay, so that is what athletes want. Okay, let me go here. Okay. All right. So here's the question is we all know that money flows, right? So I have a tendency, I have this big, I call it a nerd, an NERD, and that's something that creeps in on me all the time. Like I know it doesn't serve me, and yet it's that inner mean girl in me that like wants to like push me down. And so one of my nerds is scarcity, which is ridiculous because the world is abundant and I have abundance of everything. I have health and wealth and joy and love and all these things in my life, right? And yet I am I'm constantly doing the thought stopping thing that I teach my athletes of no, you've got everything, you have more than you need, you have enough and more than you need. And so mine is like money flows in and out. So I remind myself as I'm paying my VA $1,000 a month and I'm paying my marketer $3,000 a month. And like I'm looking at all these bills, right? I'm like, okay, but money is flowing in and it's flowing out. And the reason that that's happening is because I am also blessing someone else with the money I make, right? With my blessings. And so I always have enough. I offer Cobra. Okay. So I always money to take care of my needs and have what I want because I work on that abundance, right? The flowing of money in and out. Or you don't hang on to it and like play that scarcity, that not enough money, not enough clients. Sorry, you guys. I'm sorry, my internet is not happy tonight. So not enough money, not enough clients, whatever it is, like hanging on to that, right? So just let it flow. Okay, so I was just listening to the audiobook Conversations with God. Love it. It's one of those things that he's talking about money and he's talking about how we we think that money is bad and that if we charge for our services that it's not fair. And so we shouldn't make money. Like pastors, like I said before, pastors shouldn't make money. People that do like teachers shouldn't make a lot of money, but yet they're the most important services. So we get to change that mindset. Yes, we get to make money, it gets to flow, and our why is super important. And so what I realized when I was talking to my friend, as I touch back into when I was talking about, she asked me like, why do you continue with that and have all these reasons? I have a huge why, and that motivated me because heck yeah, it's a great program. I totally believe in it. And other people get to do what I do and they get to make money because it's an easy way to make money. You work with athletes, it's cut and dry. It's mindset training. We do a little bit of hypnosis. It's 4 sessions and bam, you make $1,000. So yeah, I get to do it. And of course I'm going to keep offering it if I just didn't make it so darn hard. So I want to tell you guys, when are you going to believe in yourself? That's the question I have for you. When are you going to believe in yourself? Set a date. Decide next week, next month. I'm done. I'm going to believe in myself, right? I'm done playing the scarcity game. I'm done playing the not good enough game. And then realize that what you offer people is gold. It's gold, you guys. We have a magic tool in our hands. We teach people how to get calm, how to release stress, how to tap into their higher self, how to find the answers that no one can tell them they can find, how to believe in themselves again, how to rewrite their stories. Like I could tell you a really terrible story about my life, but I've rewritten it. We have the power to do that, you guys. So the question for you is, you offer gold. When are you going to believe in yourself and tell yourself and know that what we offer is gold? All right. So I just wanted to tell you real quickly, um, when I talk to athletes or their parents about what it is that I do, what I want to tell you, athletes are the best referrers because they tell everybody about you. They're not afraid to tell anybody about you. They will pay anything to get more confident. They are easy to work with. It's cut and dry, and they'll listen to you, right? They know how to be coached. So it's literally like 4 sessions of bam, 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 and then you can ask them or refer them onto more sessions when tournaments come or pressure comes, and then they become like these lifelong clients of yours. And then their sisters come and their brothers come, and what do they present with, right? They present with confidence, not believing in themselves. They don't play like they practice. They lost the joy of the sport. It's all the same. It's all that they used to believe in themselves, and as the pressure comes, they don't anymore. So what are we giving them? We are handing them confidence, right? And that's what we can hand every one of our clients: confidence and belief. You are worthy. Love yourself, right? It's the same with everything. So I see that in the chat, they just put a link to the script that I use, not only with athletes, but on the bottom, there's a script I use for other clients too. And I say things like, you know what? When you're done working with me, you are going to find the best version of yourself. So if you could be anything in this world and believe in yourself, what does that look like? That's the version we are going to create. And that is the version that you're going to find in yourself. So that's what we're going to do. And that script is there, you guys. So go ahead and click on that link if you want to download there. And I want to tell you, when an athlete calls or their parent calls, what do I say? How do I convert 90%, right? And 90%, I mean, it's probably even more than that, because I literally will have a 15-minute discovery call with them. They will call me. That way I know it's compliance. I can pick up the phone anywhere. I could be taking a walk. I could be running. I can be making dinner. I can be working on marketing stuff. And they will call me at their designated time. They'll schedule it in my calendar. And then after we have the conversation, I will literally send them a link to book their first session with payment. Done. Okay, so I make that easy, right? But what I wanted to tell you is, what do I say when they call? So they call, and this discovery script will go over this, but I wanted to just go over it with you guys because typing it out is a little different than what I say. So I wanted to help you guys through, like, what do I say? And maybe that'll help you too. And I know this is recorded, so you can always write it down, and please use it. Like, please use it. All right. So the athlete calls or the parent calls and they say, I heard you do sports hypnosis, mental tools. We'll talk about that. I thank you for asking. I heard that you do sports hypnosis, and let's say it's a parent, because I work with a lot of youth and high school and collegiate, because the professionals don't like to refer. And so the youth and the high school, they'll tell everybody, and so will the parents, because all of a sudden they're playing great and they believe in themselves again. So what did you do? Like, what's your magic trick? Oh, it's Karen. Karen. Okay. So they give me a call and they say, I heard about you. Another parent told me about you. And our son has been playing baseball for so many years now, and he used to be really good, and now he doesn't believe in himself and he gets frustrated, and he's it's so frustrating to us to see because we know that he's got the ability and it's always been so good, but he questions himself and he doesn't want to go to practice anymore. And so I let him talk, right? And then I say, okay, that's exactly what I help athletes with. First session, we create a mental toughness training program. What I do is I ask questions. What's in the gap? What are you from a scale from 1 to 10? 10 being super confident, 1 being not confident at all. They'll usually say 5, 6, sometimes 7. Okay, what's in the gap from being 7 to 10? What is it that's holding you back from being that best athlete that you think or know you can be? And they'll say, well, I don't believe in myself, or I'm not doing this or doing that. Okay, that's what we get to work on. So we'll write affirmations and goals, and we will create a mental toughness training program in that first session. And we'll set power words and we'll do triggers. And we'll talk about visualization. And then the second session, we'll make them a recording during the session that they can listen to at night. And we'll talk about thought stopping, carrying themselves like a champion. We'll talk about what do you do if you have a bad game, a bad match? How do you shift out of it? What is mental toughness? What is mental resilience? What is resilience? We'll talk about the 5 mental tools. Thanks for asking. Those are self-talk. What do you say to yourself before and during when you play? What is your mental log keeping? What is inner mean girl, inner mean guy saying to you about the way you play? How can you change that self-doubt to belief? We'll talk about visualizations and how important it is to create a blueprint of your perfect game, your perfect match. Because what happens is a critical mind has a tendency to replay the negative instead of what it is you want. So we're going to put a blueprint in your mind. We're going to anchor that to a word and a physical trigger like Pavlov's dog. I explain that if they don't know. And then if you guys don't know, look it up. And then we're going to talk about relaxation and self-hypnosis. Because when you relax, the conscious mind relax, then you can work with your unconscious mind. And these are tools I'm going to teach for the rest of their life: how to be confident, how to shift out of things, how to believe in themselves, how to create new stories, how to create new blueprints. Those are the 5 mental tools. And then we will, and then we'll do self-hypnosis. I'll teach them self-hypnosis. I'll teach them how to step into a circle of excellence, and that is really their own personal secret excellence, their circle of power. You guys know it. It's NLP. Most of you know it. And then we'll teach them how to do that with their power word. We'll talk about being in the zone. What does that feel like? We bring back that emotional state. That's the state we want to be in every time we step on the court, we step on the field. Right? So I'm going to do that with them. And then we're going to solidify it all with hypnosis and deeper trance where they're not questioning. I'm going to give them their mental training program. I'm going to give them tasks to do in between. And within those 4 sessions, you're going to see a completely different athlete. And so I literally hear them say, how do we sign up? And I say, well, super simple. I'm going to email you or text you a link to my Calendly. You can book the first session. You'll get reminders. You'll get a payment link. And I'll see your athlete on the screen. And that's it. That's it, right? So that's it. That's all written down there, you guys, though, on that script. So before I move on, I do want to ask if there's any questions, because I know that one of my things is I talk fast. So I want to talk to you and teach you a little bit about thought stopping, what I do in the first session to create their training program. If you guys are curious about that, I find out what the athlete's big why is, right? Why are you doing this? Why do you wrestle? Is it for you or for someone else? You know, why? What is your big why? What do you want? What do you want for your goals? What do you want for the season? So go ahead, you guys, if you have any questions about any of that, I'm going to give you a minute while I take a drink and take a breath. And then I'm going to tell you about what I do for the first session with athletes, because it's super powerful to help them not be nervous about hypnosis and get into a relaxed state so that when I do hypnosis in the second session, they're like super primed. All right. Before I end, can I put the questions back on the screen? How long does the initial session last? Okay, if you could tell me, Beverly, what questions you're talking about. The initial session, every session is four sessions. That's it. Or for 1 hour. Sorry, 4 sessions for 1 hour for 1 month. So 1 a week, for 4 weeks. Sometimes we have to skip a week because athletes are super busy, but I try my best to work with them. I do only have limited hours though. I only work 1.5 days a week with my clients and they fit in. The questions you put up that you asked us questions, yeah, I absolutely will. I'll do that in a minute. Okay, so I have about 5 minutes and then I'm going to do a Q&A for you guys. So I'm going to tell you what I do in the first session to create their visualization. And then Jeremy is going to hop on and hopefully they're keeping track of the questions and then I'll answer them during the Q&A. Okay. So during the first session, I tell them I'm not going to do hypnosis, but we are going to create your perfect game. And you guys can do this with any client. You can do this with someone that has anxiety. Let's create your perfect life. You can do it with an entrepreneur. Let's create you your perfect reaching your goals or your promotion at work. You can do it with someone losing weight. Let's create your perfect healthy body, right? Because it is about it's health. But what we know about weight loss clients, you guys, like honestly, the biggest reason people want to lose weight, A, it's health, right? And B, it's because when we feel good about ourselves, we're confident. We get out there. We put ourselves out there, right? That's what people want when they say I want to lose weight. They want to be confident, right? They just want to believe in themselves. They want to get out there and not be afraid or insecure about meeting new people. And so that's what we're giving them. All right. So with an athlete, I say we're not doing hypnosis. We're going to do a quick, quiet visualization where we create your perfect game. So I'll have them close their eyes. I'll do something very similar to what we just did when I brought you guys into relaxation. It's not hypnosis. It's just relaxation today. We're going to do deep hypnosis next session. The wave of relaxation, checking in with the jaws, checking in with the shoulders, making sure those relax. The rest of the body follows suit, listening to what's going on around you, bringing yourself to the moment, feeling your breath, all of that. I'll do that with them. I just quiet their mind, right? Notice the thoughts in your mind swirling, have them slow, let them dissolve down through your body like the soft spring rain. Bring yourself into a state, relaxing deeper with every word I say, every breath you take, just getting them relaxed. And then I'll literally look at the affirmations and the goals that we had written prior. They'll say something like, I walk into the gym, I'm feeling calm, confident, and ready to go. As I approach the mat, I get in the zone. I'm in that state of emotional, heightened state. And I see what's going on around me. I notice I'm in my favorite singlet. I'm feeling the emotions of the day. I'm feeling emotionally, mentally ready. And I'm going to do a wrestler. All right. So you step on the mat, you shake hands, and the whistle blows. Now you tell me, what does your perfect match look like? Run through it in your mind. So they'll say, okay, I'm aggressive. I get the first takedown. I'm strong in my stance. I keep my head up. I shoot in. I get on top. I'm top on top. I'm strong. I get the turn. I get back points. I get up quickly. I'm using my arm bar, whatever they're doing, fireman's carry, whatever it is, right? They'll tell me their match and I'll say, okay, and how does it end? Well, I win by 14 points. That's a major, it's called. And so they win, or a tech. Or I see the pin. Okay, you see the pin. Awesome. Notice how you feel. You're bigger, you're stronger. You've like somehow gotten stronger throughout this match. You have your reset. You used it when you need to, because we talked about that in the first session there. And then you go to the middle of the mat, you shake hands, you see the smile on your face, like victorious. You raise your hands, you're like, yes. The coaches are high-fiving you. Everyone's telling you what a great match it was. That's your perfect match. That is what I want you to do between now and next session. Every single day, close your eyes, relax, and see yourself playing your perfect game or in your perfect match. We are creating pathways, right? We just created a pathway. You used to have a pathway of unbelief, a pathway of doubt that became a super highway, which is why you're here. We just created one pathway, and that pathway has now become a road, a highway, and a super highway. And we're going to make it that super highway. So now we have a pathway. That's your perfect match. That's your perfect game. Practice it every single day. We're going to work more at it in the next 3 sessions. And it's going to become your superhighway where you'll be in the space of like, I can't even believe I thought like that. Like, of course I'm great. I'm a great athlete. I'm a great wrestler. I'm a great soccer player. So that's what we do in the first session. I wanted to give you a little peek into that. I am going to, and then Jeremy, you can give me the questions if you don't mind, but I am going to put those journal questions up that someone was asking for. Okay, so I'm going to go here and share screen. And there it is. Share. Okay, hopefully you guys can see that. And those were the questions, the journal questions. And then after that, I'll put the QR code. So I see there's a Q&A. Do you take full payment the first session or each individual session? You know what, Ellen? I take full payment before the first session. $1,000, between 800 and 1,000. I charge close to 1,000 now. Some of my mentees and students are charging between 800 and 1,000. But sometimes, you know, can I do per session? And my answer is always nope, nope. It's a package. What I find, and I don't typically have athletes that don't want to go through all 4 of them, but it's easier for them just to pay up front. So this is the package session, and I never, ever have a problem with it. So hope that answers the question. Okay, I'm going to go to the chat.
I think what Beverly was asking about the questions that you can put back on the screen, that's actually on the free gift. Those are the intake questions that you've given them. So that's on the download for Beverly.
Yes. Yes, it is. Thank you.
Sandra does ask, have you ever had a client who is dealing with anxiety in regards to a neighbor who is harassing?
Okay, let's see. Have I ever had, can you repeat that for me, please?
Sure. Have you ever had a client who's dealing with anxiety regards to a neighbor who is harassing?
No, I haven't. And if you're interested in what I would do, I would tell them we obviously cannot control others' behaviors. And obviously there's a reason that this is happening for whatever reason. They're probably have their own stuff going on. And what I would do is I would always lead with love. That's what I do. And I would tell them I would lead with love and I would create a protective shield around myself. And the protective shield is something that most of us know. It's getting into your safe space and then allowing yourself to protect yourself with a shield or a bubble where whatever is said or done, it bounces off. Now, obviously, if it's something illegal, we get to do something about it. I have a neighbor that's not very nice, actually, and I don't understand it because I have always been so nice to her, but she has something with me, and I haven't figured out what it is yet. In fact, shortly after my son died, she decided to tell me that my peer was in her riparian rights, and I was like, oh my gosh, you've got to be kidding me! Like that's the last thing on my mind. But I literally just put that protective shield up. So that's what I would tell my clients, and then I would do that as a hypnosis for them where I would help them in the hypnotic state get into their safe space or their happy place. I'd ask them what it was. I'd bring them there, and then I'd help them create this. So anything that was said was like rocks or arrows bouncing off and away, and just allow it to go away and say bubble, bubble, bubble. I had to use it in one of my personal relationships actually, and when someone was berating me or yelling at me, this was like 4 or 5 years ago, I would just say in my own head, bubble, 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 bubble. So I teach my clients to do that. And literally it just keeps you in your safe space. And so I also teach my athletes that because a lot of times they'll have clients. That's a QR code, guys. A lot of times I'll have clients or they'll have coaches or other athletes or other parents that like yell at them all the time. Some coaches tend to do that. And so I will help them create their bubble, and all of that goes off and away, and they stay in their own circle of excellence or circle of power. And we practice that under hypnosis, and I teach them that for self-hypnosis also. And then,
Thank
guys,
you.
the QR code's not a big deal. So because you got the link. All right, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Thank you, Karen. Randall asks, have you ever had someone want a refund because they did not win as much as they expected?
Absolutely not. And, that's a great question. But what I truly know is that what I offer them in the 4 sessions is not, how do I say this? I don't say I guarantee you're going to win state. So like I'm seeing a ton of athletes right now that their season is almost over, so they're getting into the state. I don't ever say I promise you're going to win state. But what I do say is you're going to walk into state competition confident and believing in yourself with more mental toughness than you had before we started. So I've never had anyone ask for their money back. Um, what we're doing is we are creating shifts in the way that they think. We're creating shifts in their confidence, and you can't put a value on that. So that never. And then I do have some people ask sometimes if I have a guarantee, and not always, actually, not for athletes, but sometimes for like weight loss and smoking. And here's my answer, you guys. I do not offer a guarantee. And the reason is because, like a doctor, you don't go into the doctor and say, I'm really sick and I'm paying you to see me. Do you guarantee I'll feel better? Now, the doctor's going to use all of their tools they can. They're going to prescribe things. They're going to tell you things. They're going to look up things. They're going to use your knowledge. They're going to help you, but they cannot guarantee that you will be 100% healthy when I finish working with you. It's very similar with hypnosis. I'm going to give you everything I got, 100% of everything I got to help you reach your goals. And I cannot be with you all the time. I cannot follow you around. I cannot make you lose weight. So it's up to you to be responsible, take responsibility for the changes that I'm teaching you to make. So I do not offer guarantees, but I promise I will give you 100% of what I got.
All right, thank you. And we have one last question here from Terry. Do you do any regression to block with your athletes?
Sometimes. Not with the 4 session program typically, because it's a very cut and dry session, or very cut and dry program that I offer. It's creating statements, thought stopping. It's all created from mental or psychology manuals. And my son went to the Olympic Training Center and trained for a couple months. He got lots of material there, so it's based on that. It's a lot of mental training. And I do have athletes come to me with blocks. I'm seeing a gymnast as we speak from Minnesota that cannot do what she calls the giant on the bars, and that is like a 2-time flip. Of course, I had to ask because I'm not a gymnast, but that's okay because we don't have to know the sport in order to work with the athlete. We're just teaching them how to manage their mind, so they know their sport. We just help them work through it. So anyway, an older athlete, maybe a collegiate athlete, will have a block because they had a massive injury. And then I will do some regression or timeline to figure out where it started, but not often. It's usually just mental training. So I hope that answered your question. You guys, thank you for being with me. I see it's 6:57. I'm still here. I'll stick around for a few more minutes. I don't know if they turn it off right at 7 o'clock, but thank you so much for being with me, you guys. I'm here if you have any questions. I'm happy to I do offer coaching calls. Send me an email. So thank you again for being here, and I appreciate you guys on a Tuesday evening. Second mental tools. Someone's asking. You're welcome. Thanks for being here. Second mental tool. So, okay, the first one, I kind of might have went out of order. The first one was mental log keeping. What do you say to yourself when you're performing or when you're playing and before? Like, what do you say about how good you are? Second one is, what is the self-talk? What does the inner mean guy, inner mean girl say to you when you are thinking about who you are? I don't want to go to practice. I suck. I'm never going to beat. I'm not first seed, so I'm never going to win. I'm so nervous. I can't do this, right? Just download the script. Good job, David. Thanks. Third one is visualization. Fourth one is relaxation, self-hypnosis techniques. And goal setting is the other one. I think I might have missed it. The fifth one is goal setting. Always set goals. If you don't set goals, you won't reach goals. You write your goals down, you reach them. Law of attraction. All right. Thanks. Bye, everyone.